I'm sharing some slides here. Do give me a shout, Ruby, if you can't see them. Hi, everybody, and a very warm welcome to OASPA's conference. As Ruby said, I'm Claire Redhead, and I'm Executive Director for OASPA. This is OASPA's 16th annual conference, I think, on open access publishing. And it's really wonderful to have you all here. As Ruby said, please do say hello in the chat. Let us know who you are and where you are. We've seen some of you sharing that already. There are over 500 delegates registered for the conference this year from 50 countries around the world, and we have speakers from 17 countries. So a really big welcome to all of you, wherever you're joining us from. As well as Zoom, you'll have received a link to our Slack group. In particular, that's where we're hosting our posters. They're also on our website, but you can connect with poster presenters there. It's optional, but it is a useful space and additional space for you to use. An attendee list was sent out with the details of those of you who gave consent to share your names and contact information. So just be aware, for those of you who've had a look at that, it's only the people who've opted in. So it's just to be clear, it's not a comprehensive list of all delegates. Here is our participant agreement, which you may have seen scrolling past already. You can also find this on our website. I've included the link there. Please take the time to read it. Make sure you understand the expectations and what you're agreeing to when you join OASPA's events. You can ask us if you've got questions about it. And very importantly, do contact us if you have any problems or concerns. There's Bernie's contact details there if you don't have those already. There's one Zoom link per day to join the conference. So today, this same session will run continuously through the next few hours. There's a short break after every session, so you can get away from your screen for a while. So you have separate links for the next 2 days. Thank you to those of you who are getting up early to join us, or those who are staying late into the evening to join sessions later on today. Obviously, we're working across multiple time zones for our speakers, and that does mean with the programming that it's most likely some sessions won't be during your normal working day, but we hope you'll be able to join us for as much as possible. Everything is recorded and shared as quickly as we can, so for any sessions you have to miss, you'll be able to catch up on those, and we'll let you know how to find those as soon as they're ready. Just to recap what Ruby said, if you've just joined us, please add your comments and any relevant resources in the chat. Please do share your views with us during the sessions. All your input is very welcome, and we're really looking forward to hearing from the audience throughout the next 3 days. Questions, please, in the Q&A section of Zoom, and we'll be pleased to include those in our discussions as we go along. And if it helps, you can turn on auto captioning. There's a show captions button at the bottom. Also, as Ruby's pointed out, you can turn that on if that's helpful as well. Yet again, we had a new record for the number of proposals that we received for lightning talks and posters, and for the session that we opened up for suggestions as well. If you were one of the people that sent us a proposal, thank you so much. There were so many really, really great proposals submitted, and it's really incredibly hard to decide on what we can include. We've included as many as possible. So this year we've got 3 poster sessions again, where you can hear about a fascinating range of open access related projects and initiatives. And again, you can see the posters on our online program or in Slack. So we've got a really packed program again this year for you. The program is curated by our program committee. They've done an absolutely fantastic job. Here's our wonderful committee here for you. I really want to give them the first spotlight. They've all worked really hard. So thank you so much, all of you, for putting together such a wonderful program for the conference this year. And thank you to all of our speakers. We're really excited to have you all join us and looking forward to some really rich discussions over the next 3 days. Thank you, of course, to the Events Hub. Ruby and her team support all of OASPA's online events. So thank you especially to Ruby, Lachlan and Kat, who are helping us today and everything that you're doing behind the scenes to keep things running smoothly for us. We are truly indebted to all of our sponsoring organisations who are listed here, and thank you so much to all of our 2023 sponsors and supporters for enabling us to do what we do here at OASPA. And of course, the biggest thanks go to Bernie. There is a huge amount of work that goes into running a conference and delivering a really valuable programme. It takes months of hard work and culminating in a huge amount of emails and work that Bernie's doing at the moment still. So thank you so much, Bernie. I hope you can feel the satisfaction for seeing all of that hard work come together now. So thank you very much. And of course, last but no means least, thank you to all of you joining us in the audience. We're absolutely delighted to have so many of you here from all over the world, and we're really looking forward to hearing from you. As this is the OASPA conference, I'm going to take a few minutes just to tell you a little bit about what we get up to at OASPA here in the team. OASPA is the Open Access Scholarly Publishing Association. Just to be clear, not everybody knows what our acronym stands for. Our focus is on open access and open scholarship and anything related to that. We create a space for open access discussions where anyone involved in open access publishing is welcome. OASPA was founded in 2008, so we're just coming up in October to OASPA's 15th anniversary. It started off as an organisation to represent those who were getting started with open access publishing, and it was a really valuable space to share experiences and to advocate for open access as a publishing model. Obviously, a lot's changed since then, and open access is more firmly established. We've got over 200 members now, and we've grown to be a hugely diverse network of all types of publishing organisations, mostly fully open access, but we also cover infrastructures and services related to open access, books and journals, all disciplines, and we also have a growing number of supporters who are organisations, often institutions and related organisations who may not directly be involved in publishing activities themselves, but are very supportive of open access. We're still seeing lots of experimentation with different approaches to open access, which is incredibly important. As we know, there really is no one-size-fits-all approach to open access publishing. In terms of activities and things we actively contribute to, this year we have created an open access journals toolkit with DOAJ. This is a freely available resource for anyone running an open access journal or starting an open access journal. We've created the toolkit and shared that, and we're adding additional languages. So French language is available already, but we'll be adding others. So please do keep an eye on our news or our social media to find out about those. We annually present key data on the growth of open access publishing, which is collected from our members directly on their open access publishing output. We run a programme of webinars throughout the year, which is also, we have Bernie to thank for. And recent topics that we've covered for those include, just last week actually, scholarly communications response to the climate crisis and the role of open science in that. We've also covered preprint peer review, funding open access, research integrity and open scholarship, and data sharing. And there's more to come, and a pipeline of webinars, which are all freely available. And we have sponsors to thank for that as well, in enabling us to make those free for the community to join. We have an ongoing collaboration with COPE, the World Association of Medical Editors, and DOAJ on the principles of transparency and best practice for scholarly publishing, which is a constantly evolving checklist that we make available. We're involved in 2 European Commission funded projects. The first is DIAMAS, which is a project to support institutional publishing in Europe, and Palomira, which is focused on aligning open access book policy in the European research area. We work with a fantastic group of organisations on both of those projects. We still have a strategic partnership with the OA Switchboard, which we launched a couple of years ago, and we support the activities and development of the switchboard. Many of our members are using it. We're still seeing really exciting growth and development of the switchboard. We also support a number of committees, Think, Check, Submit, the Coalition for Diversity and Inclusion in Scholarly Communication, and another example is the OAPEN Open Access Books Toolkit, which is another valuable resource for the open access publishing community. As well as being a community related to open access, OASPA is an organisation with a mission to encourage and enable open access as the predominant model of communication for scholarly outputs. And we put our resources into the range of activities that I've described to support that aim and also to ensure a diverse and healthy landscape for open access publishing. At the moment, we're really putting a lot of thought into what our vision for the future looks like as we work towards that mission. The board is structured to have a majority of fully open access publishing organisations, but it also includes some infrastructures, services and mixed model publishers. So it's very reflective of the network of OASPA members. And board members are actively involved in the organisation, but they put the needs of OASPA first, and their work for the board is not to benefit their own organisation in particular. So as open access has evolved and proliferated, we're becoming more aware of where we might be introducing new barriers to participate in scholarly communication. This has been a completely unintentional side effect of providing access, but it's now something that we've been looking at, we want to take into account and address in the work that we do. It's been a time of reflection over the past few months for OASPA, with the team and the board on how we find our place and navigate the landscape of open access when OASPA is made up of so many different approaches. But that is the network's strength. That's the strength of the OASPA community. OASPA has always been about providing a place for different approaches, for experience sharing and for innovation. And that's just as true now as it was when OASPA was founded in 2008. Those things are really important because open access is hard. No one is finding this easy. No one is certain about what is the right way forward. And so that leads me to warm you up for our opening panel, because previously in the conference, we've reported on workshops we've held on the topic of the open access market. We were gathering different perspectives on the economics behind open access and what's needed to enable a diverse publishing ecosystem. And equity kept coming up as a theme in that work. And we started to think about how equity relates to OASPA and how tied it is to the models for open access. We've held a series of workshops this year to bring together key stakeholders again and build on the work we did previously and develop a more global range of viewpoints. Malavika Leg has been leading this project for OASPA, and she's produced a number of reports and blog posts over the past few months, which really highlight the viewpoints and challenges that we've been hearing and the evidence that this is an issue that we can't ignore and we really need to tackle. And Malavika will be sharing her insights at the end of the conference and inviting community input. So please do join that session and share your views.